No, AOC and Hakeem Jeffries are not stupid. They're just cowards. And they just bow their heads to leadership.
AOC came out and defended Joe Biden, said that Joe Biden is their candidate, despite his horrible performance in the debate recently with Donald Trump. And Anna Kasparian and Cenk Uygur were not happy with AOC defending Biden in this way. So we're going to take a look at clips of Anna Kasparian and Cenk Uygur reacting to AOC's proclamation. Let's take a look.
You ready for some breaking news that will surely disappoint you?
Of course.
So Ryan Noble is reporting on X. Representative AOC tells us she spoke with President Biden over the weekend, and it's time to end the speculation over his future. Quote, Joe Biden is our nominee. He is not leaving this race. He is in this race, and I support him.
Oh.
There's more. Now, what I think is critically important right now is that we focus on what it takes to win in November, because he is running against Donald Trump.
Everybody would be running against Donald Trump. They make it seem like Joe Biden is the only one who gets to run against Donald Trump.
AOC aside, earlier in the show, we were talking about Hakeem Jeffries, how he was basically keeping his powder dry until he kind of felt the temperature in the room to figure out where most elected Democrats stand on the issue of Biden potentially stepping down from this race. Well, he has now come out with a statement, and he's sharing what he thinks about Biden remaining in the race. Let's watch.
You support Joe Biden staying as your Democratic nominee?
Yes, I made clear the day after the debate publicly that I support President Joe Biden and the Democratic ticket. My position has not changed.
So it seems like, for the most part, the Democratic Party is listening to Biden. I mean, he put out this letter.
Totally pathetic.
He put out this letter.
Now I'm going to stop here for just a moment to say that I'm sure Cenk Uygur and Anna Kasparian aren't surprised about this because they've been around for a long time. But if they are surprised, I don't know why they would be. This is how politics work. The politicians just all fall in line. AOC, Bernie's doing this, all of them. They're going to fall in line, and because all they care about is their power, their ability to do insider trading, and all of this other stuff. They don't want to lose any of their positions, but they don't care about the American people. Neither party does. They're all in it for their own personal interests.
Basically telling elected lawmakers who are telling him to step down that they need to shut up and fall in line.
And they are, because they're cowards. Let's call a spade, okay? Let's call it what they are. Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer, total cowards. Like, oh, what does the leader say? We bow to you. 36%, you don't mind losing to Trump. Every person right now that's saying Biden should be the nominee is saying, I don't care about losing to Trump at all. Look, Biden said another lie in one of these interviews. He said, oh, people doubted me in 2020. That's not remotely true. Okay, right, and oh, I was losing in 20. No, you weren't. And so even CNN did an analysis of it and showed it, because it's not complicated. Anybody could look it up. That's what I've been screaming for a year now. You could look up any of these numbers. So at this point in the race in 2020, at this exact time, Biden was up by 9 points. And he barely won with 44,000 votes in 3 swing states.
I know.
He was up by 9. He's now down by 3 to 6. Do you understand that's impossible? No, you don't. That's the thing. If you're an average layman, I don't blame you at all. How are you supposed to know what's impossible in politics? It's like saying, oh, can you unclog that toilet? How do you know? You're not a plumber, right?
I mean, I can figure it out.
Okay, but everyone who knows politics, Ezra Klein, David Axelrod, James Carville, Nate Silver, myself, look, we don't agree.
But one thing that I would disagree with Cenk Uygur here is you don't have to know politics. There was polling done in February with people, like 80% of the public said Joe Biden is too old. Everybody knew this, and the Democratic Party, and Cenk Uygur and Anna Kasparian have brought this up many, many times over the years. But the Democratic Party should have told Joe Biden, Joe, you get 1 term. You're too old to run for a 2nd term, so we're going to have a primary to pick a candidate. Now they're in this mess where, as Cenk Uygur likes to say a lot, Biden's brain fell out, and now they're stuck with this guy because it may be too late for them to find a new candidate. Now, Cenk Uygur and Anna Kasparian think they can wait until the convention, but I mean, that's a really short time frame to run a presidential election. All of this should have been happening a year or two ago.
Agree on policy, but we all agree on numbers. So everyone that's now saying it should be Biden is saying, I would rather bow my head and obey a mad king than beat Donald Trump. I don't care about that at all. I've been lying the whole time. I don't think democracy is on the line. I think this is a totally unimportant election. We're gonna run an 81-year-old whose brain fell out in the middle of a debate. 80% of the country thinks he's not mentally healthy enough to be president. I mean, what kind of a moron would favor a guy that 80% of the country says his brain's not working? No, you can't. Nobody can be that stupid. No, AOC and Hakeem Jeffries are not stupid. They're just cowards. And they just bow their heads to leadership. And they don't care about this country. They don't care about losing to Donald Trump.
I mean, Hakeem Jeffries is leadership. He's Democratic leadership.
Of course he's gonna tell you to bow to leadership. Exactly, Anna, he is leadership.
It's just,
he's like, oh, you should always bow to leadership, no matter how bad a decision they make, no matter how much they're idiots, and no matter how much they don't mind losing. So look, guys, last thing on this. So I'm still absolutely positive that Biden's gonna drop out. You know why? The Republicans are smart. They ran one ad against Bob Casey saying, is Bob Casey lying to cover up Joe Biden's dementia? And they showed clips of Joe Biden and then clips of Casey with Joe Biden. That ad was so devastating, that ad alone almost knocked Biden out. Then they stopped the ads immediately. They're like, oh, shh. Look, be cool, be cool. If Joe Biden is the actual nominee and he gets past the convention, they're gonna obliterate the Democratic Party with those ads. They're gonna put Biden with every single member of Congress, including AOC and Hakeem Jeffries. They're gonna put him with every senator. And they're gonna say, when did they know? And who knew and when did they know it? And what have they done about it? Have they lied to you? Because Joe Biden's definitely lying to you. 8 out of 10 Americans already think Joe Biden's lying to them. So now when you go and bear hug Joe Biden, you go, oh, I'm with the liar. And then your main point in this election is that Donald Trump is the liar, which was a terrific point until you started doing this spectacular, gigantic lie in the middle of the campaign. And now 80% of Americans don't believe a goddamn word you say.
Yeah, that's also part of this conversation that I don't think is emphasized enough. The way voters feel about being lied to, about Biden's mental state, about his ability to run and beat Donald Trump. The thing that keeps coming up is how betrayed voters feel, and to have, honestly, a progressive of all people come in and run interference for Biden is so incredibly disappointing. And by the way, this comes on the same day that the New York Times put out a report regarding a Parkinson's expert that visited Joe Biden 8 separate times within 8 months.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. But last thing here, I'm extra disappointed because number one, I desperately want to beat Donald Trump. He did a coup attempt. We cannot have him get back in office. And I thought at least Democrats wanted to win for their own power. But it turns out Democrats don't mind losing at all, at all.
So they're talking about the Democrats lying to their voters. Yeah, all of these politicians lie over and over again. And this is why it makes me sad when I see people online, whatever your particular candidate is that you love, that people act like these are their friends or their family members or something. None of these people, I don't care if it's Donald Trump or Joe Biden or AOC or Bernie or whoever on the right, none of these people care about you. They don't care about you. They care about themselves. They care about their own power. They care about the money that they're able to make, the influence that they can have, but they do not care about you. They do not care about us, the American people. So, and I know that Anna Kasparian and Cenk Uygur know this. They lied in 2016 that Hillary Clinton was the best candidate. They lied in 2020 that Joe Biden was the best candidate. He just barely, at least they had a primary then, but he just barely squeaked by. So they've lied from the very beginning.
Okay, so that's the normal disappointment that all Democrats have, no matter where you are on the political spectrum. But I have the double disappointment of and when I say we, Young Turks audience gave $2.5 million to Justice Democrats in that first cycle. You guys are American heroes. You brought us hope out of no hope. And it wasn't just Young Turks audience. So many other people tried to help, and they did help towards that miraculous victory that AOC had. And now to turn around and instead of fighting the establishment, which was the whole point of Justice Democrats, which was the whole point of running against Joe Crowley, who was the number 4 Democrat in the House. Instead of fighting the establishment, now you become a cog in the machine of the establishment,
Bingo.
helping them tell preposterous lies in order to hold on to power. That is super disappointing.
So what do you think about all this? Should AOC have come out and essentially gave an endorsement to Joe Biden and defended him? Or are Anna Kasparian and Cenk Uygur correct here that it's BS, that all of these, they're all falling in line? Even some of them who initially said they were against Joe Biden are now falling in line. So what do you think? Make sure to give me a like and a comment and subscribe if you want to see more of this content. It'll help me to grow my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.